I am very excited about this, and I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people because in the Web3 space, I'm looking for a title that can make it. And people say, don't waste your time, DG. Like, it's all a scam. Fuck Web3 gaming, fuck crypto, fuck NFTs, fuck. They hate me when I talk about it. However, I love the space because as a gamer, if I could like have fun playing games and make money at the same time, I feel like that should just happen, you know, regardless of all the worries about, you know, people farming, regardless of the scams, regardless of all the pitfalls of the space. I guess I'm just looking at it doughy-eyed and naive and giving me an experience in gaming that I don't currently have. And a lot of people get upset at me for that. Personally, I guess I can understand that, but I'm going to keep talking about the space because it's fascinating to me. It's like another area of evolution. And I truly think that more games are going to be financed this way through crypto because it's easier for them to get that capital right off the start from the token. It just makes sense that game developers are going to go to this because it's going to be easier for them to fundraise for their game. It just makes sense. Business-wise, it makes sense. What's up, LC? Long time no see. You're here, LC.
Yes, sir. You're going to eat me. Yes.
Good to see you. Welcome back home, LC. We missed you. So let's talk about this new blockchain game in the Web3 space, which is like an EVE Online game called Frontier. Now, when I heard the news of this, oh shit, I got excited because most of my greatest economic experiences in gaming, most of my nerdiest moments in gaming, most of the spreadsheets, mostly how I learned about spreadsheets was EVE Online. The economic gameplay through the roof, bar none, the best economic gameplay ever created. Come at me, EVE Online. And those that are into economic gameplay are cheering. And those that aren't don't understand what I'm talking about. So let's check out this EVE Frontier official teaser trailer that I'm actually very excited about. And thank you for suffering through that long intro. Thank you. You're no longer in a pod, dude. You're no longer in a pod. Now you are in some type of crazy humanoid cybernetic robot body. I mean, it's about time we upgraded that. I never liked those pods. I didn't ever like being in an egg. I felt uncomfortable that I was in an egg, an embryo of sorts. Perhaps now you are born from your embryonic state. Perhaps this is like, hey, this is amazing, actually, what I'm watching. This is actually amazing. Aether says, sorry, I'm pausing, but I'm very active with my community. So if you're watching on YouTube, get here live. Aether says, yeah, DG360 Obsidian did a gameplay video on this last week. I thought I put it in the look at this section. Well, you'll be happy to see that we're going to watch an Obsidian video along with this, Aether.
Yes, sir. You're not going to eat me.
And that's from you. You are the algorithm. By the way, join our Discord community. Awesome group of people. We call them the algorithm. They find everything that we watch here on the morning show. You are part of an interactive experience. Let's keep going. What? Wait. Oh, shit. Goosebumps, dudes. I got goosebumps. Holy shit. I got goosebumps. Listen to me. Maybe I misinterpreted everything because I haven't been following EVE Online in forever. So apologies. But holy shit. I am very excited. Especially if this can do what I've wanted a game to do for a long time, which is be successful in the Web3 gaming space. So, I mean, like, if you can actually make money playing EVE Online, I'd be a fucking billionaire already. Like, the amount of ISK that I made on EVE Online was insane because I was just so dedicated to economic gameplay and manufacturing. And I missed the whole planet system. I don't even know if that still exists in EVE Online. Sorry, because I haven't played in years. But like the planet system where you're actually able to extract things from different planets, that was cool gameplay. I actually even liked that. That was cool. I got involved in that. I got involved in almost every facet, from BPs to BPOs, or BPCs. I got involved in blueprints, making blueprints, the whole thing, it's been forever and an age since I've played EVE Online. But if the one reason why I was like, I got to give this up is because I was devoting so much time to EVE, and I'm like, dude, I got a great community here, of people in EVE Online. They were a bunch of Australians. I loved them. I was up at the weirdest hours and I joined this Australian outfit. And they were awesome. And then I made my own corporation. And then I joined this alliance. And I became this alliance. It was a whole thing. What ended up happening was I got way too addicted. It got to the point where I was like, I got to give this up. This is really toxic for me because I just spent way too much time on EVE Online, which a lot of people that play EVE Online, they can attest to. A lot of EVE Online gamers have had those moments in the game where they've said, okay, you're living, breathing EVE Online. I think 90% of EVE Online gamers know where I'm coming from on that. And it was just I got to give this up cold turkey. And it's been a long time. And I've come back every once in a while. But holy shit, if they've created a game that can actually transfer real, tangible wealth playing an economic game, this might be the title that does it. I've been talking about Star Atlas, which we're going to talk about that in Solana Breakpoint later on in the day. But I've been talking about Star Atlas for 2 years now and watching the progression of Star Atlas and through the ups and the downs, I'm still watching. I'm still interested. People who are Star Citizens are angry with me. But again, like I said at the very beginning of this video, I'm looking for a title that can break through and become successful. So, man, if they can do this, that would be you would wake up the beast. EVE Online would flourish. So we've got more content here about it from this dude named AlgoRhythm Gaming, who I found after researching a bit on who is an authority in the EVE Online space. At least it appears so to me. He's got a lot of EVE Online videos on his channel, 16,000 subscribers. So, not huge, but the game itself doesn't have the traction that Star Citizen has in terms of adoption. So, believe it or not, it's an older title, but there's this many people still interested, which just tells you about the longevity of EVE and how awesome the gameplay still is to this day. So let's listen to this guy and what he thinks about EVE Frontier. And could it outlive us?
We need to talk about EVE Frontier. If you're unfamiliar with EVE Frontier, EVE Frontier is the, call it a blockchain game. And they...
Hold on, let me move up top here. Excuse the intro break here. There we go.
Don't.
Up top.
But it is using blockchain elements. And it looks to be very much... Belly, thanks for the Twitch Prime. God bless you, my friend. Thank you. EVE Frontier very much looks like it is a blockchain game with EVE as a core. Now I'm in the server, okay? I'm in their playtests, and when I tell you, I've literally not played the game. I'm just in there to listen and observe because I don't accidentally want to spoil something and break NDA because the NDA I've signed is aggressive. So I'm not trying to mess with stuff. So what I'm intrigued about,
I would imagine that it would be aggressive because we're talking about real tangible value now. If they're going to include, I'm not quite sure where they're going with this. I don't know if there'll be crypto involved like this with the Star Atlas and the Atlas token. I'm not quite sure. Let's keep listening.
With this is you might have seen the recent podcast from Hilmar, from the CEO of CCP Games, talking with A16Z and this one. And if you're unfamiliar, what's up with this? A16Z is actually the company that gave them funding for this game. Okay. I love it, honey. I love it so much. My lovely wife's talking to me. Love you, honey. Thank you much. This really interesting hearing him talk about this. They're actually discussing, and I'm going to put this tweet in the chat for y'all so you can see it, right? They're basically saying, Hilmar says, they want to make a game that outlives CCP Games. Okay. They want to make a game that is not something that ends. How? Okay. The game itself is a extremely you might say it's the most friendly modder game.
I mean, I don't know if you can say it's going to outlive the actual developer, for fuck's sake. You need the developer to keep updating the game, don't you? Like in terms of like graphics, in terms of gameplay, in terms of new expansion and ideas, unless they just have like, again, EVE was interesting because EVE had like an infinite amount of systems. It had a lot of systems. There was a finite amount of systems, but there was tons of systems to it. I don't know if this is going to be an entirely new, it sounds like it's going to be an entirely new game. Like it's not going to be attached to, the current EVE Online. Again, not sure, but to me, that comment makes no sense. Like to outlive the developer themselves. That no.
Like mods I've ever seen, because from what we get from public information, third-party developers can actually build systems in EVE Frontier. Okay, and can unironically.
Well, here's the thing about that. The modding community is awesome, number one. I love modders. But on the other hand, like we all have seen other titles fail because modders come in and they create these, mods to the game that are horrible. And then if they're going to exist in ad infinitum in the verse of this EVE Frontier, there's going to be a lot of crap out there, So I again, like this is. Don't get so like this guy's going completely over. Like I get it. I get the excitement. But let's add some rationality here.
Looks like make money off of this. How? What we know from the public available information is the game will be using blockchain, and these developers can make systems and tools.
That's cool.
And have those smart contracts, is what they've called them in the public information. Have it live on the blockchain, so then these tools are sellable.
So what blockchain is it going to be on first off, or are they creating their own? That's my first question. So if you guys are watching this on YouTube, or if anybody live knows, let me know what blockchain this is going on, or if they're just creating their own thing.
Ownable. Okay, so follow me here. I have a deluge. Okay, I'm cloaked outside of Jitter right now. Hi Jitter, hi, how are you doing today? I have this deluge. This deluge, with its stats, with its perks, with everything it is, was made by CCP Games, okay? This, how it is, was made by the developers. And the ship, like every other game, was made by people that have tested it, that have done that stuff, whatever. If I buy this ship, I own it in the game, but I don't own the ship. You know what I mean? If EVE Online servers go down, I don't have access to this, right? But because the items in EVE Frontier are on the blockchain, which will be ownable in your personal crypto wallet, your Web3 wallet, whatever you want to call it, then I don't think it's VR compatible. I don't know enough about VR, but I don't know enough.
This is with all assets. This is with all digital assets in the Web3 space, by the way. This is not just like a EVE Frontier thing. This is basically if Web3 becomes which it will be. I mean, it's eventual. It's like Blockbuster to Netflix. People argue with me like, oh, it's not going to happen. It will. Somebody will figure it out, and they'll make it so that you don't even know it is. I mean, like eventually they're just going to make it because the business needs it, because the game developers want that money. They want the fundraising. It's easy for them to fundraise this way. So like in terms of fundraising, in terms of the money flow, this is how it's going to happen, whether gamers like it or not, because it's going to be where the money flows. Where the money flows. Wait, that's not how that song goes. That's not how that song goes. Okay.
Is the short answer. You'll be able to own the equivalent of a deluge in Frontier whenever that ship is like released. But this is like scratching the surface, okay? Because the developers, and they've empowered the devs, the third-party developers, not CCP Games devs, but anybody can just make a ship like this. They can make the code the ship and have it live.
Yeah, these are principles and fundamentals from what Second Life was trying to do like 2 decades ago. And a lot of people made money selling various sex balls and sex beds. It was rampant, dude. It was fucking rampant. It was everywhere. It was so twisted, man. The space was crazy. And the Zingo machines and the casinos. And then the government came in and said, Lindens can't be a currency, so we're shutting you all down. And it's ironic. It's funny now, crypto coming in and the SEC fighting crypto in the same manner that they did back in the day. They shut down Second Life pretty quickly in terms of like the casinos in the game and all that. Whereas they're going to have a harder time here in the crypto space, as you can see. Madstow says, Shot Tidbit from CCP explains its use of crypto as supporting player ownership of items, with all transactions between players permitted outside and inside the game. Blockchain tech, CCP says, lets players edit aspects of the game world and server in real time, as we're learning here from Loru below. CCP insists all this tech is environmentally friendly, yada, yada, yada. Who fucking cares? I mean, like, it's a video game and environmentally friendly. And video games, like, why are we even worried about, like, what is going on with that? Just focus on the fun. Let's not worry about we're saving the world while making a fucking video game. Stupid. They even mention that. All technology used to develop and operate EVE Frontier has the same energy consumption as EVE Online's infrastructure. Okay, so by that comment from Shot Tidbit of CCP that Mansau so nicely put in the chat, it tells me that this is actually going to be a separate entity from EVE Online. So they're booting this up maybe from separately, but then I'm seeing him use examples from EVE Online itself, so still may be confused on that.
On the thing. That's what it looks like from the publicly available information about smart contracts, about what blockchain is, about the various dev focus that they're...
Oh, thank you. Takashi says it's on the ETH layer 2. Oh, is it Arbitrum or Optimism? Kyoto Takashi says maybe the ship can be like an NFT also. Yeah, that's kind of, I think, how he's describing it, Takashi. It'd be interesting to see how they would finalize that from game to smart contract. It would be a smart contract. Like, you would make the ship would then turn into a smart contract or an NFT. And that's probably how it operates with all the stats and everything, you know. Redstone blockchain. I never heard of that. Interesting. I wonder if it's their own thing. Redstone. Interesting. Redstone
that they're showing
blockchain.
This coincides with Project Carbon. It's just Carbon. I was thinking of Project Awakening, right? Just Carbon. This is their game engine. It's going open source. So you can just code it however you want. So, okay. When I tell you that there are some red flags with this game about it being blockchain, by the way, Fade Atreides, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome in. There are some crap going on here with, like, will this be the first ever good blockchain game? Maybe. If it sucks, if it's a cash grab, if this is something I'm seeing become a rug pull, if you are following other crypto stuff, you're going to hear about it from me. I'm hyping this game up for now because I trust CCP Games to make a good product. And
Yes.
Yes, you're not gonna hate man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. They're coming into this space, CCP, as already distinguishing themselves, which is a very Chris Roberts-like type event. You know, for all the good and bad about Star Citizen and Chris Roberts, whatever your opinions may be, a lot of people fundraised Star Citizen because they remember Chris Roberts and they loved Wing Commander and other games, Privateer, so many titles. Don't even get me started. So there was that backing. There was that Chris Roberts, okay, it's legit. CCP coming into this makes this much more of a legit kind of thing than, say, people who have never tried it before, like Michael Wagner and Star Atlas, right? Pretty interesting to me.
if a company was going to make the first ever good blockchain game, it's going to be CCP Games, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
Because they already know how to do this stuff, right?
Yep,
They're
I agree.
They're some of the smartest people on the
This guy's very over-exaggerated, but I absolutely 110% agree with his opinion right there. That particular opinion, CCP would be the ones to be able to do it.
planet made EVE Online. I hope this game is good. If it's not, I'm going to tell you.
Although, if we go off of Dust and the failure that was Dust, there's been some stinkeroos. There's been some stinkeroos.
This also looks to be not a video game. This might be as close to like Ready Player One as we've ever seen.
No. Now we're going hopium. Now we're getting into the hype-gasm right now. Like this, but no, this is not anywhere near Ready Player One. I'm just going to tell you, it will be a great economic experience. Gameplay will probably be great. If they're smart about this and the developers go about this the right way and methodically. I'm not quite sure about like what Takashi was saying with the with Redstone. I'll have to research that. Thank you again, Takashi, for knowing what's going on in the Web3 space. I will research that and I will talk about this more because this definitely piques my interest. So EVE Frontier is now on my radar, and I will most likely be talking about this fairly regularly, like I do with Star Atlas here and there. So it did it again. Damn, EVE did it again. EVE did it again to me. Look what's happening. Look what's happening to me. Look what's happening to me.
Okay.
Help me,
that's the
someone,
part of
help
this
me.
that excites me the most. Like the crypto and blockchain stuff is honestly tertiary as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
what's more
definitely
important about this is
Masto.
Helmar. Hymar. I can't pronounce his name because my nose. I've been sick all week. Helmar. I know I pronounced your name wrong. I'm sorry, boss. Please don't ban me. Okay. He talks about how he wants to make this game to outlive him and CCP Games, to make a forever game. This has never happened before.
Okay, settle down, cowboy. Settle down, cowboy. Settle it down a couple notches. Listen, I'm a very hyped dude. I get in my modes, you know what I mean? But usually my modes make sense. This guy, you're not making sense right now. You're telling me I'm going to be Ready Player One. I'm going to be strapped into a VR set. This game's going to live forever beyond the developers. Like, dude, just settle it down, cowboy. Settle it down.
Ever. CCP Games once again is ahead of the curve. EVE Online was ahead of the curve
Right.
decades ago. Dust 514, it was ahead of the curve decades ago, and it only died.
But the execution was horrible on Dust, man. Like, they might have been like the first to think of like an experience that was multi-platform, which, you know, they very well could be credited with that, I believe. I might be wrong on that, but it was horrible. The execution was horrible on a level not even seen before. The execution, they couldn't have done it anywhere. So they tripped over themselves like 50 fucking times.
Because of PS3 and because of the crap they had to sign with their publisher, right? Vanguard's going to be awesome in Jesus' name, hopefully. What excites me about this is that, as this is as close to Ready Player One as we can come.
Absolutely, man.
Imagine you remember the scene in like Ready Player One where the character that like makes the mods and makes the tech is like, that's their living. that they make money off of making things in the game.
Yeah, duh. That's what we want, man. Anybody in the Web3 space, we've all been waiting for this. There's a large demographic of gamers that have been waiting for something like this for a very, 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 very long time. Mostly the loudest noise is fuck everything in the Web3 space. Fuck, that's the loudest noise. That doesn't mean it's the majority of the people. I would say there's a really good, large industrial base of gamer out there that loves to trade, that loves to manufacture, all those types of mechanics, from SWG to EVE Online to, there's quite a bit. I mean, you go all the way back to Ultima, for fuck's sake. Ultima Online, if you really want to go into the Wayback Machine. There's large sections of gamer population out there that have wanted something like this for a very long time. The blockchain that Web3 will enable. But like, who's the developer? At the end of the day, the real question becomes like, who's the developer that can do it? And that's why I've been watching Star Atlas. I think somehow, some way, Michael's going to do it. Even despite Michael, being Michael, which, a lot of people don't like Michael, period. In the same way they don't like Chris Roberts. It's really interesting. I find it really interesting. And easy targets. I mean, like, easy targets. I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, like, they're out there. They're dreamers. They're crazy dreamers, man. They're out there, and they're, it's easy. It's easy. Mike did some kind of things that made me like very kind of like, ew. Like how he treated ERAD, which was bullshit. I told Michael that actually in many videos. And Michael still reaches out. Michael's got with me on X and told me, like, hey, man, if you ever really want to talk about this, let's do this shit. And, I'm not inserted into Star Atlas enough to feel like I'm qualified to interview yet. Maybe one day I'll take him up on that. And then I'll ask him about the whole ERAD issue. And I will talk to him and be like, dude, why did you do what you did to ERAD? Why did you copyright strike ERAD for his opinions? Like, what the fuck, dude? That would be one of the first questions I think I would ask, But CCP brings legitimacy. Like, CCP brings legitimacy to the Web3 space because they already been successful. They've had a lot of failures, just like Chris Roberts. Chris Roberts been successful and failed, right? CCP successful and failed. But like, I have a little bit more faith because there's a track record here. So interesting.
Because they understand how to manipulate the code and the items in the game, and that's their job. Do you want to code and be a modder and get paid for it? Looks like that's what this is going to be. I'll say this again. Because they're first. The proverb is, the first person to go through the wall gets bitten by the snake.
What?
This is from the Book of Proverbs.
What? No. It's just about Metcalfe's law is all it's about. And they're not first to the space. They're not first doing this. There's plenty of other titles doing this. It's just they don't have the backing. They don't have the backing of a CCP, like, of a legitimate developer that's done shit before and got shit done. So this it's going a little bit off the tracks here. It's going a little bit off the tracks.
And I believe that means, my interpretation of that is, people that do something first get hurt in ways you wouldn't expect. Okay.
First movers, first to the space, usually you get the adoption right off the bat. Usually, if you've got a good user interface, if you've got a good product, just in general, Metcalfe's law, it's about adoption. It's about S-curves. It's about momentum. It's about bringing people into a project and it going to the moon. That's what Metcalfe's law is essentially in layman's terms. And what he's describing he's using religion, which I think is an interesting way to go about describing this. I've never quite heard that, especially in the gaming genre before. But I would just say, in terms of like the economy in terms of keeping it, you know, rational here, let's just talk about the fact that we're dealing with Metcalfe's law, and whoever's first to the space and makes something successful, that's fun. Fun first. I say this all the time with Web3 gaming. It has to be fun. It has to be about the game. The crypto and the making money and all that has to be secondary. It has to be secondary. Even maybe tertiary, you know, hard word to say, but still correct in its usage.
Does that make sense? So we'll see what happens with this. There's an equal chance in my mind that this is an absolute failure and does not work and sucks. I'm going to talk about it if that's the case. You get honest opinions from me. Okay, so there were a bunch of comments that were like in my recent EVE Frontier video, they were like,
this guy is in a CCP Games shill.
I want there to be good game. There's good game by giving honest, well done feedback.
I understand that. I agree with him. I want there to be a game in this space too. Like I feel that. I feel that. I relate as to that.
That's how it goes. Okay, so here's the fun part about that, Chris. Okay. You mentioned like
what's up, Backspace?
Crypto mining in my like Rorqual. Someone codes the Rorqual.
What?
And owns the code for that kind of mining ship. That's on the blockchain. They sell the plans for this, the blueprints for this. The way other people can make, can craft something.
We get it. Okay, we get it. We're gonna get past this. We understand. Most of us understand it. That's why we clicked on the video, man. All right, now here is God and Savior. Speaking of religion, Obsidian Ant, hallowed be his name. The one who saved the channel many years ago. I wish he would come in like a white knight to save the channel from the copyright strikes we found from Z Frank 4 weeks ago. That would be great. Obsidian, if you're watching, please save us.
Yes, you're not gonna hate man. Yes.
So let's listen to the dulcet tones of Obsidian Ant talk about EVE Frontier. And let's get a little bit more rational here. I think Obsidian Ant can add the rationality that we so desperately seek.
So here's a thing, a brand new space game set in the EVE Online universe. This one is called EVE Frontier. Now this was detailed a little while back. CCP did announce some details on it, but just recently, in fact a day or two ago, they announced the name and released the trailer that you can see on the screen right here.
Awesome.
So the game is an MMO, just like EVE Online. It's going to be shared on all played on a single shared server. The difference here is that this is a survival MMO, and players will still pilot spaceships, but it'll be set in a different region of the galaxy.
What? They're going with a survival-based game? What?
That is apparently very dangerous.
This is why I love Obsidian. He just gives you the fucking raw facts here. So we got ourselves a separate server. We got ourselves a separate instance. Like, this is brand new. Blockchain, survivor-based. Okay, let's keep going.
Now, there have been a few closed playtests on the game over the previous months. We haven't heard much about these. There is another one coming up on the 27th of September, and you can sign up for this. Also, some new information about all of this has been revealed through the gaming press. In particular, there's been an interview with PC Gamer.
That looks very Star Citizen, that statue.
Revealed
like
through the gaming press. In particular, there's been an
that totally looks like Lorville, man. Is that Stanton? Is that Stanton?
Interview with PC Gamer and CCP.
This scene's fucking awesome. Like, this is woof.
Which is where I get much of the information from this video. So a brand new space game, especially one set in the EVE universe, which by many opinions and mine included is one of the best space games out there, is potentially a very, very good thing, something that many people could be excited about. However, there's a massive catch, a massive potential downside. This is a game that's going to be built on blockchain technology. So yeah, that's certainly something that's going to happen.
And that is so crazy to me that the majority of or at least the loudest voice out there that I hear is like, everybody's against blockchain gaming. I guess I don't understand that. Call me naive, call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one,
Have a lot of catches. One thing that doesn't have any catches is the sponsor of today's video, Factor 75. The Factor 75 website shows impressive services for anyone looking to simplify meal planning. Factor's
actually good. It's much better than HelloFresh. I would endorse Factor over HelloFresh, which I call goodbye nasty. You know, so if you're looking for like food, go with Factor and say goodbye to HelloFresh and call it goodbye nasty, and get yourself some Factor. Factor doesn't look as good. It doesn't have the same look, right? But damn, they do something to that food. It's very addictive. Be careful.
Account of your meals and sign up for Factor 75 today. So yes, a brand new space game from esteemed EVE Online universe, but one that is embedded in blockchain. And now I've mentioned that word, there's going to be the odd few comments down there saying, but Obsidian, how dare you even talk about this game? How dare you even give it any attention?
Yeah, that's good. Q says it's new, and with blockchain, the chance to lose money is real. People don't like new things, especially ones that can end up taking your money, because it gets very real with money. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's why, like, guys, like, just treat this like you would gambling. Don't go crazy, or, you know, just put in a little bit discretionary, not financial advice, but like if you're into this, just put a little money in and play the game and see what it is. Because a lot of them are going to be like play to earn, which is going to be bullshit. A lot of the reason why nothing's caught on in the Web3 space is because everything's play to earn. It's like a fucking job. It's like, okay, do these things in the game that aren't really fun, and here's your crypto as a fucking reward. It's all set up bullshit, right? But if you could make things like eFrontier's promising and then sell them to other people in the game, it really opens up the fun factor that you're actually building things and you're making money from the things that you build, which the guy previously that we were watching didn't really, he failed to grasp the actual message, which is like, you can build shit and make money from the shit that you build in a game, and that's fucking cool. Like, to me, that's pretty fucking cool, right? But when you mention blockchain gaming, like Obsidian says, a lot of people just get upset right off the bat. And like Hugh says, you know, it's money. So there's a whole new level to it. Value is being attached through the video game, you know?
Blockchain is a pure evil. And yeah, people do.
And you know, EVE's crazy enough as it is. People in real life, there has been some serious doxing and some serious shit that has gone down in the EVE Online community over the past 2 decades, where people have gone after other people for losing larger ships or battles or assets in the game when they had no value to them. Now they have value to them, dudes. Can expect a lot more violence in the real world when Web3 game is a thing. That's one thing for sure. I can tell you 110% for sure. One thing bad about this is that people are going to go loco and go batshit insane when they lose fucking items that cost them thousands of dollars. And they're not going to treat it like a bad trade. They're not going to have the mentality of a trader or somebody that actually takes risk for a living. They're going to have gamers of all ages, and they are going to get a whole bunch of people pissed off. It's going to bring that. You know, it's going to bring that. That's the nightmare side to this, you know? Yeah, Takashi's asking, some of the larger ships are worth 5,000 or more. Like some people, right, go about it by just using straight cash to get the ship. There's a lot of that goes on right now on EVE Online. Aether says, you're not really selling me on this. I'm not quite sure what this game's going to... Let's keep going, because, I mean, it doesn't... I don't know what this footage, just probably cinematics taken from EVE Online, but, like, survival-based makes me wonder what the fuck kind of gameplay this is going to be.
Say these things, but ultimately, yeah, the thing is, I'm not a fan of blockchain. I really don't like it, not enamored with it. And
Because there's no examples out there of anything successful. I guess I look at it more positively because I see the benefits more than I see the drawbacks, right? So Aether says, I'm kind of surprised that you're surprised that people aren't on board with this. Yeah, I am surprised about that. And that's interesting that Aether's, you know, it's because like I can see a world where it's beneficial. I can see a world where people are having fun and making money at the same time, which is ideally the best way to make money. Like, you know, like you're having fun, you're playing a game, and you're making money at the same time. If that could be a seamless experience with little to low friction on the negative side, that would be awesome. Unfortunately, humans, right, Aether? Unfortunately, humans, you know? So like, I guess I'm dreaming through this. I'm a dreamer looking at the positive ends of this being cool. Like a utopia of gaming, if you will. So I guess there's a part of me that's a little too starry-eyed or has maybe a little too much hopium in this space, but I just think it would be damn cool to do this. And I am surprised that more gamers aren't on board with this, but it's not a popular opinion. See, this is the one thing about this that I'm telling you guys all. You might not agree with my opinions, but I'm going to tell you them, right? And I respect people that can disagree with me and still be here. So let's hear it for the people that think I'm fucking psycho talking about this. But still here. Thank you.
In fact, there hasn't been a single successful blockchain game yet, at least not one that I'm aware of. Let me know if I've got that wrong. And yet there's also going to be a bunch of other people telling me that I don't understand blockchain either, that all of us criticizing it have no clue of what we're talking about, that it's wonderful technology and the next big thing.
So how it actually is going to interact with your gaming experiences in terms of the transactions within the game. So a lot of people ask this question, like, how does blockchain actually be inserted into like Web3 gaming? Like, what actually is on the blockchain? And that's a question I get all the time. And so the answer to that question is usually it's going to be transactional in nature. So when you're selling something and somebody is buying something, that'll be fed through the blockchain, and that's how the ledger will record that transaction. It will use everything in the game environment in terms of the engine and the networking, everything that's going on in the game, right? Will have all transactions be recorded to the blockchain. Everything's a transactional thing, whether it's an NFT or whether it's the crypto in the game, it'll all be tied to a digital wallet. Everything that you do should be seamless. The UI should be slick, and all transactions happen in the game, but are actually happening on the blockchain that they are attached to. Like Takashi said, this is on the Redstone blockchain, which I am not familiar with, nor promoting, know nothing about. Those transactions that will be on EVE Frontier will happen on that blockchain. So that's how the blockchain ties into the game. However, again, let me reiterate this. It has to be fun. Fun first. If these people want adoption, if these people want this to be successful, if they want tangible value, it has to be fun. And a lot of projects out there, all they talk about is the money. All they talk about is the blockchain. They don't talk about anything else. And then they say, here's the game, like secondary. It's the craziest promotion I've ever seen. It's obviously from a bunch of crypto bros that aren't even gamers. And that's why none of them are fucking successful. And that's why it's got a bad rap. And that's why anybody hears blockchain gaming, they go, oh, fuck. Because they either already experienced it and they played a play-to-earn model, or you got a bunch of people just trying to sell the game on the actual crypto instead of the actual game. And it's absurd to me that nobody is focusing on the game. So, again, I'm going to take a couple steps back here and talk about the fact that CCP has done successful things before. They have a track record. This makes me feel like maybe there's a legitimate chance that somebody might do this right. And to that, I say this.
Yes, you're not gonna hit me. Yes.
So, hey, I'm going to learn all I can about this.
All of this and more is going to probably tear the comments apart. But the thing is, this is an upcoming space game. It is from highly respected developers, so sorry to say, I am going to talk about it, and I think a lot of people out there will want to know about it, regardless of whether or not you'll actually want to play it. At any rate, CCP are keen to say that this isn't specifically or directly a blockchain game. It just uses blockchain technology. What's the difference?
No.
That's anyone.
No. Well, and again, like Obsidian doesn't know too much about the space, but yes, it will definitely be on the blockchain, and it will definitely be a blockchain game. So yes, if just the transactional things happen on the blockchain, that's enough quality blockchain game. It's exactly what the space wants for gamers like myself that want this. It will be blockchain.
One's guess. It seems like hair splitting to me, but CCP do seem to be trying at least to make it distinction here. So they say, unlike traditional blockchain games, blockchain here is used to provide development tools, and this will be given to players rather than focusing on cryptocurrency speculation. The Redstone blockchain framework, also known as MUD, allows players to modify in-game structures, enhancing a player-driven customization. What this
Okay, player-driven customization, like you're able to create your character of all your stats and skills, or they do the same thing they did on EVE Online and replicate what's going on. We'll then go to the character. All those attributes will be on the character, and then basically, at that particular point, you've got your NFT. I mean, they could do that. They could do character NFTs. You could create your character however you want. They look a certain way. They've got certain attributes, and then boom. You've made your first NFT, and then you can sell your characters. So your character will have value. That's how I would do it. Like if I was making this, that's how I would do it. It only makes sense. Think about all the people that sell their own characters in any game. Think about all that's going on out there. That's so hard. You got to go through second or third parties. You got to go through all these crazy ass websites to get a character that you want. Or even a fucking name in a game. Some people just buy it for the name. Like there's a whole market out there for that. Well, this could be done easily. Like this actually could be done easily through blockchain. It's like I made my NFT. You could see everything that's on it through a smart contract, and people could look up everything that you would need to know. Hopefully, if they make a really good UI system, you could do that in the fucking game. It would just make sense. And then you could actually, if you get done with the game, say you get tired of the fucking game, but your character's super uber awesome, and you're like, fuck it, I'm never going to play this again. You could sell your fucking character for real life tangible worth. Your character could be like $1 million fucking dollars. Who knows what people are going to attach to value on this shit? Who knows? I mean, like, I doubt that's ever going to happen. But, like with NFTs, fucking craziness, who knows how far this could go? It probably is not going to be worth that. It's probably going to be worth shit, honestly. But like you have the ability to sell your character when you're done easily, seamlessly. That's pretty cool.
This means is that players will be able to develop and create structures inside the game, and they use programming language HTML5 to basically give these structures unique and personalized functionality. In short, it's a system that gives players access to...
Yeah, if they're smart, they won't flag for this. Like Keck says characters are sold uneven, it flags the character as well. Yeah, like I don't think you're going to see the same type of policing with EVE Frontier if it's blockchain gaming. I think it's all going to be they'd be stupid if they flagged accounts. If somebody tried to sell an NFT character, that'd be like counterintuitive to the whole reason of why they're making this game. You know what I mean, Keck? Like, I don't think if they had that in there, they'd be like hitting themselves in the face.
Back-end tools for altering the game world, allowing deep levels of customization not typically seen in MMOs. So yes, that means EVE Frontier is all about giving players access to development tools, allowing them to create in-game systems.
Oh, Aether says, I put the gameplay Obsidian video in the Look at Me section. He actually play tested this and made a vid about it. Is there any gameplay in it? Is there any gameplay video? Yeah, according to his NDA, he probably could not show any of the video, huh? Oh no, Aether, you got me all excited. Aether says, nope, my mistake. Yeah, that's EVE Vanguard. Yeah. You got me all excited for a second, Aether.
Early playtests have apparently demonstrated creativity,
Don't
such
you
as
dare
building
me,
a
Aether.
functioning tournament system, something that CCP didn't integrate into the game, but these players went out the way.
Keck says, well, it's like other players know, not a bad flag. Okay, I got what you're saying, Keck. I don't know because I haven't played EVE Online in forever. I thought you were talking, I took you out of context. I thought you meant by flagging the character, it was like a negative thing. And you're just saying it just lets people know that the character was sold and bought. Okay.
To put in the game for themselves. Okay, so colour me intrigued. This does have some possibility, but it also has a huge amount of potential to go very, very wrong. Give players the capability to code a game or build into an existing game, and I can't see that everything that's going to be built is going to be entirely positive.
Yes! Can I get an amen? Yes!
This is why I love Obsidian. I said this a long time ago. I said this about a half a fucking hour ago. I said the same thing. This is why I love Obsidian. Good take.
Or for the benefit of other players. But, you know, that's also a part of the EVE Online world, isn't it? How many of us have read stories where totally crazy things have gone on? And yet that seems to be a part of the goal here. The game has, it's planning on extending EVE Online's philosophy of player-led chaos. Players have unprecedented control over both in-game environments and the economic systems as well, and this will very likely lead to unpredictable dynamics, which of course in turn will very likely lead to potential power struggles of the likes we haven't yet seen. Now, in terms
while attaching real life value, like really attaching the value. So again, like that's also kind of like a
of blockchain, yes, there will be cryptocurrencies here because of course there will. Apparently, players will be able to create their own currencies alongside CCP's official ones, and this will, CCP say, mirror sovereign.
Oh, that's going to be a mess. I don't think that's a good thing. They're gonna allow players to create their own currencies. I mean, maybe a player, maybe a coin. Like, oh no, that's not a good thing. That's a little too much. That's a little too much decentralization. That might not be good. That's no. I would never do that shit. Keck says DG coin. That's something I am never gonna touch. I will never make a fucking crypto for the DG360 community. I don't want it. I don't want you guys to have to fucking no. I love crypto. I love the Web3 space, but I would never do that to myself. That's like I would never put myself up for that.
Nations issuing their own legal tender. And this will add yet another layer of complexity and potential financial chaos, with CCP predicting a boiling financial hellscape.
Aether says, why isn't that a good idea, G? What are the problems with doing that? That's a great question. I think what would happen is you would create like a meme coin mentality in a video game, and I guess you could have like subgenres of markets. It would be very niche, you know, but I think you would just create you'd have so many people creating so many coins that it would just be like a fucking mess. It would, like, in terms of gameplay, in terms of fun, I don't know if like having the ability to create like infinite amounts of currencies in a game that's pretty much dependent upon the currency itself. Thank you, guys.
Next time it's gonna be glass.
Thank you. It's kind of like a Harry carry for the currency that CCP is going to use. And I would relate it to an analogy, Aether, of exactly what's happening in the space right now. When you look at fiat's dying to like a whole new evolution of fintech finance. The whole banking system's getting turned on its head. That's why you've got Larry Fink of BlackRock that owns $10 trillion owning Bitcoin. And actually, he used to call it a scam, and now he's like buying in. He's got an ETF. They're buying, like, they all kind of see the writing on the wall when it comes to fiat currencies and what the government's been doing for so long. And this is not just the American government. This is like any government in the world. The fiat systems are always fucked because all of them just inflate. They keep injecting more and more money supply in, and they kill their own currency. And then the crypto came in and said, here, we have an alternative. Bitcoin came in, said, here, there's an alternative. It's finite. There's only 21 million. You value it at whatever you want to value it at. Is it valuable to you? Well, at 60,000 a Bitcoin, it seems like there's a lot of people out there that think that it has value. And say what you will about Bitcoin, but if you look at the long-term macro look at the chart, it's from the bottom left to the upper right. It just keeps getting more adoption, and it keeps becoming more valuable. And some people say it one day it's just going to all pop and go down to zero. And I think it's never going to go to zero. There'll always be a value to it. I don't know. I don't have no idea. I think it's going to keep going up over the long term. because it comparing it to fiat, and now that people understand exactly what the government's doing because things cost so much, you've actually started to investigate what is money. The question is, what is money, right? So when your question, you're asking me about like, why do I think it's a bad thing that this would happen in a video game, and why people having the ability to make as many currencies as they want a bad thing, is because like it would muddle the gameplay and it would confuse the actual currency itself. Like of where's the value at? Maybe the player base, maybe that's a game in itself. Maybe that's fun to some people. Maybe, you know, the actual currency created by an alliance is more than the token that CCP creates for the game's currency. That'd be fucking cool. I mean, that would be cool. Like at the end of the day, I guess that would be kind of cool. But like, I think in terms of just like people not understanding blockchain too well, it makes for messy game design. You get where I'm saying, Aether, and anybody that's listening to me out there still that is interested in this space. I think it would lead to a lot of messy game design and gameplay, and people would just be fucking confused. Yeah, like people are just gonna be like, what's all these different coins? Like I'm walking into this, like what the fuck's going on? There's too much, just too many fucking currencies. This currency, that currency, you know, like we're talking about gamers that aren't too aware of, you know, this whole space, which is a challenge. This is why this is such a challenge, and there's no successful title. Another reason why, it's just like people's understanding of it. There's a learning curve here. But what better company to introduce such a learning curve? You know, there's a joke, there's a meme out there about EVE Online's learning curve, and this is like giant loop. You know, many people that play EVE Online know the meme I'm talking about. But seriously, EVE Online has so much complexity. It is so deep. And if you spend your time playing EVE Online, it gravitates to the gamer that would understand blockchain and actually enjoy this type of gameplay. It gravitates to a higher IQ kind of gamer. So another reason why I think this is a much more legitimate project for the space, because the gamers that are playing have a basic grasp of economic gameplay. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this.
So yeah, this will all be unregulated, both I guess from the governmental level, because the governments are likely to interject.
A lot of questions here, which I'll answer, so it's great. I'm glad to help people out understand what blockchain gaming is, what Web3 gaming is. So like I do consider myself somewhat knowledgeable in this space. Nash Gator says, how do I get a wallet? So, oh, sorry about the echo, by the way. Sorry. Nash Gator says, how do I get a wallet? Great question. A lot of these games require you to get a digital wallet, which is called a hot wallet. And the reason they call it a hot wallet is because it exists on your computer, on your PC. There are also cold wallets. Cold wallets are like hardware that you can buy. Think of them as like USB sticks that are separate from, you know, they're not hooked into the internet with your PC. So they're considered cold wallets. I always think cold wallets are the best way to store crypto. However, with gaming, you're going to need a hot wallet. And a hot wallet is a PC, desktop, or phone oriented wallet. And there's many different types of wallets. The one that I'm most familiar with is Phantom, which is primarily like a Solana wallet. They started accepting other coins on it. And with Phantom, what Star Atlas did very smartly is that they actually put the experience is going to be seamless to where Phantom Wallet is built in, so that when you're going into Star Atlas, you go through a procedure that instantly gives you the wallet, and it'll be seamless. And you'll be able to hold your Atlas coin in it. And then all transactions that you have in the game will be through your wallet, and all those transactions will be written on the blockchain that they're associated with. So very good question, Nash Gator. I hope I'm answering questions for people that are interested in this. It is going to be really like the next step. And the first people that really do it right are just going to, oh my God, man. The first people that are on this space, holy shit. The first people that do it right, focus on fun, integrated wallet. Dudes. And there's going to be so much crap out there because more and more gaming studios are actually opening up their funding through crypto. There's a lot of good projects out there. If you're interested in the Web3 gaming space and crypto, I highly recommend this dude named Alex Becker. He's a funny gamer. He's made his millions. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alex Becker, but he's a huge narcissist, and he's fucking hilarious. He's fucking hilarious. You guys got to check him out. If you like me, you probably would like this dude.
And jump in and start regulating in-game economies, at least for now. That's something, maybe that will happen further down the line. But either way, CCP themselves will not regulate player-to-player transactions, whether those transactions take place inside the game or outside the game. And yet that means, well,
they should happen inside the game. Like if a game wants to make it, all the transactions should happen within the game. There should be like some compatibility, where you can go to a site and you can, trade NFTs, or there's maybe like a market that they have or an exchange that you can go to, which, most of these coins you can go to an exchange, like as long as the exchange has the coin on their exchange, you can trade them. Depends upon what you're using. Like Coinbase is limited, and Coinbase is like the rookie, kind of like when you're just starting out. And then you have DEXs, decentralized exchanges, like Jupiter. Jupiter on Solana is wonderful. I've used Jupiter before. It's a really good exchange, decentralized. I use DEXs these days.
We know those cases where players have infiltrated corporations inside EVE Online, run off with all the ISK, run off with all the in-game currency and kept it for themselves. Well, I guess that will be happening in EVE Frontier as well. Players jumping in and taking all the cryptocurrency for themselves and going away and maybe buying themselves a house or some other big object, who knows. So yeah, this is really blending reality with in-game events, in-game and out-game financial transactions. So yeah, something we haven't really seen before. Just maybe CCP are taking it a little bit too far here with...
No. We've seen it. We've seen it before in terms of being fake money with ISK and EVE Online. We've done it. The contract system, they could literally set up the contract system the same way they have on EVE Online and do it with integrated wallet support on EVE Frontier. They could mimic the same UI, the same interface, everything, the transaction, but it would just go through the blockchain. They could literally take what they've already coded from EVE Online, put it into EVE Frontier, and just relate it to the blockchain so that it codes it directly to the blockchain. I mean, to me, I feel like they've already got it ready to go. Like that's the crazy thing about this. A lot of the tech that they would need in order for this to happen is already written. They just have to adapt it so that it just basically puts it on the chain. It would not be that hard to do. It would not be hard to code that. So to me, like another reason why I'm excited, CCP's basically got this ready to go. They got the ingredients inside the kitchen and they're ready to cook. You know what I'm saying?
With EVE Frontier, let me know what you...
So Elsie says, what's out game as opposed to in-game transactions? Great question, Elsie. Like for instance, like in the game, you could transact. The best thing is in-game transactions. Like if you could do all this in-game, that'd be wonderful. But some of the out-game transactions could be that you're trading on an exchange, or you're just buying or selling your coin that's related to this that they have created. So those are out game transactions. NFT transactions, like for instance, all these ships are going to be NFT related. There might be a market like Star Atlas has, where you go to a website and you can buy the NFT ships on the site and transact with other Star Atlas players on a website. So those will be like out of game transactions. But like the best types would be like all in-game transactions. Like if I could do all the ship buying from in the game, that would make more sense to me. If they made it so that I could do everything in the game, which actually, again, they've got the coding for it. You got URL abilities inside EVE Online. At least last I played EVE Online, you could type in links from outside and have it display in the game. It would kind of be out. It would be in a shell, so it would kind of still be outside the game. But like to have the ability to actually do everything in game would be the best. So I hope I explained it a little bit better for you. You
think about this in the comments section.
Right. It does open yourself up to gray markets and more possible cheating. Absolutely, Elsie. Unless it's actually on CCP's site. Like with Star Atlas has a site that's a Star Atlas related site where that shit is, it's there for everybody, for the players, and it's policed by the people that make Star Atlas, right? So that is more legitimate as an outside the market transaction because it's on their actual website. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be like gray markets where people are still selling the NFTs. You know, there's going to be communities, like there's going to be Reddit communities that are going to trade this shit. There's going to be all different types of communities for this in terms of the trading, because it's infinite. Like the amounts of possibilities of how you can trade these things are infinite because they're digital assets. So you could go from wallet to wallet without even having to play the game. You could talk to somebody on your fucking phone and be like, hey man, I got this ship. Cool. What are you going to trade for it? And then you set up a smart contract. One side agrees, the other side agrees. Boop, boop, boop. You know, exchange happens. NFTs are traded, contract completed, written on the ledger, done. Right. So, man, I love this space. Like, to me, this is like tech and gaming and everything cool about gaming. It's just, I know there's going to be a lot of pitfalls here.
For me, I kind of like the idea of an in-game...
Thank you, Elsie says. Thank
bring
you
it
for the great
down
answer.
hard.
Thank you for the great question.
You're not gonna hit me.
Dance off, bro.
Yeah, I just look stupid on TV. I'm actually quite intelligent sometimes. You know, all the times, actually. Hold on, where's my button?
I'm in a fountain.
world
missed that,
that
Elsie.
is chaotic and
Thank you, Rev. Thank you, bro. How you doing, Rev? Long time no see, bro.
players run the full-on
Good to see you,
economy.
buddy.
We see that a bit in EVE Online. Well, in fact, we see that a heck of a lot in EVE Online. It's pretty much the entire focus of the game. So taking that idea and building an entirely new game out of that seems like it could, well, make for a very good game world. But here's the thing, when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrency, there is a heck of a lot of justifiable and very understandable distrust out there. In fact, let me know if you think I'm wrong, but as far as I'm aware, at least off the top of my head, I cannot think of a single successful blockchain or cryptocurrency game out there.
There isn't. There isn't one out there. Again, why follow Star Atlas? I think they have the best chance. Now I'm starting to look at this and I'm like, this has a really good chance. This has a really good chance of doing this.
Sure, there's been many over the years, many of them have failed, and very likely there's a few out there that are still ongoing, but none of them, I think, are widely trusted or widely accepted by broader audiences. But again, if you are aware of such, then do let me know. So, economic and regulatory risks. Cryptocurrency concerns? Well, while blockchain and custom currencies offer unique possibilities, there certainly are risks associated with cryptocurrency. The introduction of multiple currencies could lead to instability, and CCP has acknowledged the risk of financial systems spinning out of control.
Yep. That's another reason they wouldn't want, the ability to have all these players create their own currencies in game, because you're literally creating a meme coin. You're creating a new currency, and regulatory wise, man, I don't know if CCP wants to take on that additional liability, depending upon what the SEC rules. I mean, the SEC ruled that Bitcoin is a commodity. They ruled only that I know of that Bitcoin is a commodity. They really haven't ruled on Ethereum, which is the next big dog in line, although I think it's outdated and slow. There are a lot of level 2s that help, like Polygon and others, that help speed up the process of Ethereum, but it's nowhere near the transactional speed of Solana, which is, I'm a big Solana guy. You hear me talk about Solana probably often on this channel. Avalanche is looking pretty good for, the gaming space, the Web3 gaming space as well. Not financial advice, but it would be a huge problem if all these players could create their own coins on this, on a regulatory look at it. And I don't know if CCP wants to do that.
All of this information, by the way, has been coming from various media outlets. A lot of this I've read on the PC Gamer, where the website has interviewed CCP directly about EVE Frontier. Now, there's also regulatory uncertainty, and CCP here are apparently aware of potential legal complications, particularly if governments decide to take issue with unregulated virtual currencies, and I can see that certainly becoming a thing at some point in the not too distant future. The studio is prepared for this, though, with the possibility of future legal restrictions on player-curated financial systems, though its CCP stance remains very much kind of hands-off at the moment. Let players go ahead and take the risks for themselves. CCP are saying that they're going to make players aware of the risks and, well, see what they decide to do with that risk. In short, CCP...
most EVE Online players are going to take the risk.
CCP here
like
all
they
about
will.
providing the tools and the capabilities as well as the options and just letting players run free to see what they decide to do. So yeah, not a lot to be heard about EVE Frontier at the moment. And the thing here is that as with many crypto-focused games or blockchain-focused games, we hear so much about the technology, so much about the ideas of the blockchain technology or the cryptocurrency technology, either of which is the main focus of the game. We usually end up hearing very little about what the game is going to be like itself. And again, that seems to be the case with EVE Frontier. We're hearing very little about...
Yeah, none of this is in game. These are all cinematics from... He's pulling cinematics from the past of EVE Online, yeah. Yeah, none of this is footage of the new game. I want to see what this survival-based game is. I want to see, you know, because again, I'm going to reserve my overall kind of excitement. I'm going to take the excitement that I have and I'm going to push it way down. Unlike the last guy that we watched that was like, wow, and started quoting biblical shit. Like, I'm going to push it way down here until I start seeing some gameplay. And it has to be fun, right? It has to be fun. Yeah, Keck. Yeah, dude.
What the game is going to be like and how it's going to play. For example, will this play like EVE Online, all taking place from third-person controlled spaceships where you click to fly? Or will it be a little bit more like a more modern type of...
Well, we don't know yet, so we're going to hold off. And when we do know, I'm going to show it on the morning show. So if you staying through me with that and you're not a blockchain enthusiast or don't even care about the Web3 space, thank you very much for doing so. Let's applaud all the people that are still here that are awake. There's such a learning curve. There is such a learning curve. Finger says what? There's such a learning curve to this, which is, again, not really great for adoption, you know, but you already have people that are trained to think economically because they're playing EVE Online. Like, this is the perfect scenario for Web3 gaming to become a thing. You've got a gamer population that has gone through an EVE Online learning curve that loves economic gameplay, and you've got a game that's going to upgrade economic gameplay. So you already have an audience that's ready to go right out the gate, that's going to hit this ground running and know what the fuck they're doing, right? So they have the audience, they have the backing, they have the funding. They got it in spades. Boom. Then you hit this, you release it, you do it right. They just flow right into it. You make this experience seamless. You execute better than you did with Dust, please. Okay? You make it seamless. You make the UI seamless. You make all transactional things happen in game. You make the game fun. I should have started with that. You do these things, these are the ingredients. I don't know why I, some big, dumb, bald guy, and might so add very thick boned, big, dumb, bald guy, has to be the guy that's blessed with this information on how to make this.
I'm in a fountain.
Like, to me, according to the sounds that I'm making from my own mouth, that I might be somebody that should make a Web3 game or be involved in the development of one, because it sounds like I connect with gamers and I connect with the trading base and I can make this shit happen very easily. It seems that way to me. Okay. Jesus. It just seems that way to me. Where I don't see any content out here like this expressing these views on this space whatsoever.